Good evening out there to everyone. Facebook land. I am your host, James Davis. We're coming to you with another segment of the mentorship program. This is the fourth session on the subject, the first subject, true to yourself. And I will be your speaker for this evening. Okay, so we'll get right to it. True to yourself. If you've been following in the other sessions, they gave dynamite examples of what this truly means in their views. So we're trying to give a well-rounded view to every one of these different subjects, and not just being light or shallow with them, but to actually go deep and to really give you guys honest opinions, life experience, but it's all real though. You know, nothing made up, nothing just off the top of our heads, but these are things that we know to be true, as far as we know. Okay, so I want to start off with an old proverb or adage that I used to hear say, know thyself. Know thyself. If you don't know anything else and know anyone else, you must know yourself. Know about who you are and what you're about. And that doesn't come off just, you're not born knowing who you are. That comes with experience, with life as you grow. As kids don't usually know themselves. How you doing, Mr. Brown? Kids don't know themselves, so we're all growing. We're growing to know who we are and where we stand and what we want to stand for, what we're going to stand on, and that means like foundations, things that you develop, the way you decide, okay, this is what I believe. These are my values. These are my principles. Okay, so know yourself, know thyself, and understand you, understanding you, why you feel the way you feel, why you think the way you think, what you're willing to fight for, why you're willing to fight for that. And being you, just being you. It took me a while to know who I was. I feel as though I'm the splitting image of my father. I have my mother's outbursts of laughter and my granny's sense of humor and my dad's gregariousness, which just means to talk a lot. Just a talkative person, don't mind talking. So I kind of like have learned just some of my character and where it comes from. So and I'm comfortable with these attributes. I'm comfortable with them, and that's the biggest thing about being true to yourself, is being comfortable with who you are and what you're about. And you want to, and being true to yourself, you have to not like lying to yourself or tricking yourself about who you want to be or what you want to be. Now, I don't think that there's a problem with a wannabe. I mean, because sometimes you may see someone, you may see attributes or characteristics or traits that you admire in someone else, and you may want them for yourself, and you realize that you don't have those, or they don't seem developed to you. But to wannabe, you know, like I remember when I was a teenager, I was a wannabe. I want to have a lot of money. I want to have a good character. What was that when they say I want to be looked upon as a responsible person, someone with what's the word? good morals, good scruples, good standards, high standards also, not just some standards, but high standards. A lot of people walking around, they really just on low standards, taking whatever or dealing with whatever, and they don't have to. That's how you become a victim of circumstances. But I thank God I always want to be, so I was a wannabe, and I said, well, it's not good to be a wannabe because people really kind of look down on wannabes, but that's the way we all start off really, is we want to be like what we see or what we hear or what we read in a book. And so, but one day you strive so and you work so hard that you become. And so, and that's the thing that you actually, when you actually become, then that's what's great. And sometimes becoming takes longer than what it should with some of us, depending on, I guess, your environment where you are, because sometimes we have to work a little bit harder to become, that true person, even to have that, the type of values and principles that you want to stand on. Because if you're raised in a place where they're selling drugs or thievery or lying a lot is how people are making it around you, sometimes, of course, these things may seem like the easier way to, because you're amongst this and you're seeing it, and so you may fall into that also. And sometimes it may take you a little bit longer to get out of that, to let go of those things, or to really, to not grasp onto those things as hard as the others. Really to get to a point to where you're like, no, I don't need those. I don't want those different devices in my life in order for me to survive or to live. Like when you hear people say, man, I got to get out of this ghetto, or it's hard to get out the ghetto. The only way I can make it out is like this or that or whatever. But I beg to differ. I figure that if you set your mind what you want to do, there are people around you who will help you, who will do things that you didn't think that they would do. If they see you doing good, they see you trying. They see you because you may not be able to do it on your own, but because you have made the step to make your personality or your character be different from those that are around in your environment, people can see that. People can tell that, and a lot of people, they like that, and they'll help you. They'll help you. So being true to yourself. I was thinking, if you have problems with other humans in society, because of the way that you are, then that's an interesting thing. If a person is trying to be true to themselves, and let's say you're a liar, okay, you just start off lying as a kid, and now you a teenager or an adult, and you just lying, you just lie. Okay. And someone may say, I lie a lot, so being true to myself, I'm just a liar. Now, you don't have to stay that way. Now, you can be true to yourself. You don't have to lie to yourself, say, no, I'm not a liar, but yeah, you're always lying. But you and people let you know, man, you just lie. You just lie a lot. You're a liar, big liar. But it depends on, when you're being true to yourself, it depends on what you want to do and what you're willing to sacrifice and how you're willing to deal with people. Because we can choose to be who we want, or to do what we want to do. But the thing is being able to deal with yourself. If you can deal with the things that you do, like if you become a murderer or become, like, I want to say these negative things, like a pervert, a child molester, or something, or becoming like I don't know, thief, these different things. Okay, these different things, other humans will, how can I say it? They will berate you. They will tear you down, because these type of behaviors are unwanted in society. So you have to decide. Well, you like, well, shoot, well, that's what I want to do, though. That's who I am. That's what I do. I like to steal. I like to do these things. But when the cost is high, where you can lose your life, or you can lose just other human support around you, people. These things turn people away and make them distant to you. So that's another thing about being true to yourself. You have to decide whether whatever your personality seems to be shaping into, you have to decide is it worth holding on to? Is it worth having these attributes or these characteristics or these traits? Because if people in society are turned off by these, and they are berating you or like mad at you or angry at you, or like tending to um, not want to see, they're showing like mean actions toward who you are or what you're showing in your behavior, then you might want to adjust that. You might want to readjust that. You might want to think that through and really get an understanding. Well, why do I want to be a liar, or why do I want to steal, and people know that I'm stealing? Is it worth it that people are distancing themselves from me, or people are talking about me behind my back, and no one wants me around? Only a certain group of people probably who's just like me. They probably steal also, or they're big liars too, and you know. It's when you're determining your character, who you're gonna be, being true to yourself, you have to weigh these things. Some people don't care about what other people think about them, so then they tend to do what they want, like women of the night, prostitutes, whatever. They don't care what people think. Usually, people driving by saying things, whatever. They've gotten to that point in themselves that, okay, this is the sacrifice. I want to make money or whatever. For whatever reason, they're out there on the streets selling their bodies. They feel that it's worth even the ridicule or the whatever that they get from other human beings. So those are the things that you have to consider. Also, with being true to yourself, I wonder how much do we know if we're really being true to ourselves, because sometimes things happen. I noticed when I was younger, there were certain behaviors, certain things I would do. I was a real rough and tough person. My god brothers had me jumping off of garages at the age of 6 and just doing some rough stuff. So, but other things happened in my life as growing up as a kid, and kind of like I think it affected my outcome, or where I probably would have been in life. Because sometimes things happen, and I think it changes, I don't want to say the identity of you, but it kind of sabotages your true identity. I feel like, now I believe, me myself, I believe in a creator. I believe in a higher power. And I believe that this creator created us in a way that's magnificent and wonderful. And I feel like also there are like some people may not, well, it doesn't matter if they believe in it, like purpose, planned purpose in your life. And so by me believing about a purpose, I believe also that there's like evil out there to try to deter you from the purpose that the creator has given you in your life, has purposed you for. And then there's a setup to sabotage your true identity, or to sabotage your true self. So, and then you really don't even know about that when you're growing up as a kid. You don't know all about that, because that's some pretty other deep stuff. But it plays a part in your true identity. And usually your true identity, when I say those negative things, like those negative behaviors and like the addictions and stuff, doing drugs or being out on the streets, hanging out on the streets, or being a prostitute, or being a molester, or being all those things, really, when I feel are not meant to be. I feel like they're things that the evil one puts into our lives or somehow sabotages us some way, somehow, through someone turning us on to different things, and getting us into that way to start us on that path. And then as you go down that path, then I feel like your true self doesn't really show. Parts of it, but not the total package of who you are. Because I feel like a lot of us are, I want to use the word mightier, but maybe I should say we're better than what we seem or what we think. We are better. We're more. Because sometimes there are things that you can go through life, different situations, different let me see, how can I put this? Yeah, different situations or different experiences you can have that can demise you, demean you, make you lesser, make you, maybe you were the person who were the type that like to do things very on the spot. How can I put it? The type who like if someone says, "Hey, let's go to Chicago," you're like, "Yeah, let's go to Chicago." You know, you just jump up and do it. The type who's just living life out loud. But sometimes there are experiences, there are things that can happen to you that can down that, make you less confident, make you not be that type that reaches out, or that type that is willing to take risks. There are certain experiences that can make you timid, that can make you just different from the way you were supposed to be. And sometimes later in life you can, and sometimes other people can see what's in you. And they'll be like, "Hey, you seem like this type of person, blah, 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 blah." And you're like, "No, that's not me." You don't even see the strengths in you, or see like a shadowing of the greatness that's inside of you, which is the true self. And it's just terrible when these things happen to us. Just these horrible things that can happen more so in your childhood, when you're little, before you formulate a lot of ideas and different things, your innocence be taken away, or different things happen to you, or you get like a broken spirit or something, or somebody has like a mind control over you or something, and those things can keep you from learning your true identity, or going into the path that you're supposed to be, as far as formulating these different attributes to become, to fulfill your purpose, to become that person that you need to be, with these different characteristics and attributes, to be able to fulfill the purpose that the Creator has for you. But that's really what we need to do, is to be trying to figure out who we really are, our true identity, by being true to ourselves. And in that is, I want to say, like a revolution. When that happens, it's almost like, wow, I had no idea. When it happened to me, which was not too long ago, shamefully. Because sometimes it takes a long time for you to come out of the craziness, your own craziness. Sometimes it's not even just people around you that keep you, that hold you, that make you feel a certain kind of way. You yourself, that prison without bars, your mind, the thoughts that you don't think that you could do, the things that you don't think that you can do. Not so much the stuff that you say, well, I can't do that, but it's just the way that we think about ourselves. I just thank you, Elder Hill. Appreciate that. I'm so nervous. But it's I'm just grateful for the people that I was able to get around after my teens. Well, no, it started in my teens. Different friends that I had grouped up with, and just the mindsets, the way their minds were, and they kind of opened me up to think in different ways, different things, and then, uh, thank you, sir. And then just then as I got older, those friends they went away. I mean, they had different things, places to go, and different things they had to do. And my life, the Creator had the purpose, so I was going down the path, and different things happened to open up my mind even more to let me see, because we don't always see things. Sometimes we live in a box. Unfortunately, a lot of my brothers, their vision is short. They don't really have a vision, of what life could be like, further than I don't know, waking up every day, hitting the 40 ounce, playing dominoes, and doing whatever. Which is those are not bad things, but when it's an everyday thing, and you don't have any aspirations to what that you're chasing, that you're actually doing, and in a good way. Some of us chase aspirations, and in the wrong way, like as far as selling drugs, because that's not a good thing. Matter of fact, we're imprisoning other people while we're making money. We're imprisoning someone else, in a habit that's not good, and then they're not being true to themselves. I'm not being true because I'm a drug dealer, and I'm not being true. The person who's I'm selling to is not. I'm helping them to not be true to themselves, because who wants to be hooked on a substance, and you're going around stealing from your mom and your daddy, and sometimes when your mind is clear, you're crying because you're like, I don't want to steal from my mom and dad. I don't want to do bad things or be belittled by people doing stuff for drugs. Um, and it's like, but you can't help it, because when the drug starts calling you, man, that's a terrible mind control. That's horrible. I mean, for you not to be able to, but there are things like that, and that we're up against, and so in true to self, you, man, first you have to even learn what does it look like, and what do you want. Like I say, and you ought to want the best, good and righteousness, as my elder says, um, which helps, because we all need each other. So, and we can't really. You don't want to be a menace. You want to be an asset to society. So if everyone is going for good and righteousness, then we can help each other, and we really get each other to a different point, a different level. Have a good standard, good high standard, and we all pushing and pulling each other to that standard. And so, and it becomes a good thing in the end, if there's an end. It just becomes a good thing, where we can really help, because whether we're good or bad, whether we're true to ourselves or not, we all need each other. We need each other in some kind of way. So, and it's best if I have good attributes to want to help you, and that you have good attributes to where you want to help me. And so, and then that's good, because we can help, everybody can help each other. Instead of you saying, well, I want to be like this, and this is what I'm going to stick with, because I'm being true to myself, to be a hermit, or to be someone who doesn't want to deal with other people, a grouch or whatever. So, but and that's allowed. The Creator allowed us options. He gave us options. We can live and do like we want to do. But it's just so good when you can live in a society where everyone has like the same goals, same type of same goals, to do the best, I want to talk also a little bit on, let me see, that standard, the standard for being human, or a good human. And if so, then what is being a good human, If so, what is? Because, let me see, that's what helps humans to get along. Are the goals and the common restraints that we have. So developing good morals, the common restraints. Yeah, we need those. And the goals. Good goals. Values, morals, scruples. I don't even hear that word much. I hear morality a lot, saying that morality has just gone down the drain, just in the toilet stool. People's morals, the way they carry themselves. But scruples, I haven't heard that in a long time. But I remember when I was younger, I used to use the word. I took to the word because it really talks about those things of like just for instance, like as a friend, and I have a friend, another guy friend, I would not have sex with one of his ex-girlfriends. Why not? It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things. You just don't do that. I mean, that was his girl. He might want to go back to her. It's just like something you just don't do. Scruples like not sleeping with one of your relatives, brothers, cousins, girl. Let's see what else. And it's hard for me to think because these are just things that there are no rules. There's nothing set anywhere. It's just stuff you just don't do. You just don't because you are considerate of another person's feelings, and I don't know. You just don't certain things. You just don't mess with. You just don't do. And I'm gonna have to sit down and think of those some more of those things. Because they're in me. I know. It's just automatic for me not to do certain things, and it's like so much fun. But I can't just to think of what they are. I have to really sit and differentiate that there's whether it's morale or whether it's scruples or not. But I mean, I know that was one specific one about sleeping around with different people that like your friend's ex or relatives ex, for sure. So, but those are things that we have to keep in mind with this true to yourself, your identity. Like I say, that identity is something that means a lot about who you are and what you're about. But that doesn't, like I said, it doesn't form when you're young. You're formulating it as you're growing, and even then when you become an adult, you're still adding stuff on. You're still we're always learning, always. When you get 70, 80, you're still learning stuff, even about yourself. I think, and I don't think that just whether you become like just really a good person. Very good intentions and everything that you are done, you made it. I think that there's still growth. I think I'm still finding stuff about myself where I can become better, where I can even in forgiving people, and not being how can I say captivated by my emotions about people to stunt me, because you can, when people hurt you. They say it's freedom in forgiving folks, and there truly is. But you can you can stunt yourself by different emotions that you may have, that you carry, different baggage and stuff that you may have. And you want to be careful, watch out for that stuff, because that can bother your true self. You're not able to express yourself and be who you are because even around certain people, because of the way you feel about them, and they're controlling you because the emotions that you have toward them is making you not be who you really would be. Like normally you'd be outspoken, having a good time, talking to everyone and everything, but because there's someone in your midst that you have some bad feelings or emotions about, you're not being yourself. You're holding back because of the way you feel this anger or whatever is inside of you. And it may be, you know, um, a good reason for it. I mean, but eventually you need to, if they're not doing anything about it to help the issue, to help resolve the issue for you, you somehow need to get that issue resolved yourself so you can move on and be yourself all the time, even in the midst of them, you know. And that's something, you know. So you have to learn learn your strong points and learn your weak points. Your strong points, cool. Um, um, okay. Your strong points. I was trying to read some of these things that are popping up. Um, okay. Thank you. Okay. The the you want to be yourself at all times. So you want to be true to yourself at all times. So your strong points and your weak points, you want to hone in on those things so that you can be the best that you can be. I mean, and that's how we're always changing and becoming better, because we try to hone in and think, sit down and evaluate, you know, like when you, at the end of the day, you reflect on the different things that have happened during the day. And you think back, well, could I have done that differently? The way I talked to her, or the way or what I said to him, or the way I turned off, you know, the child or whatever, or the way I spoke to them, or the way that I had to discipline them. You know, you reflect on these different things, and so and then you try to, well, could I have done better? Could I have said that in a better way? You know, and so and that's all to help us to become better selves. Um, so, and those are pretty much the aspects that I wanted to go over. Um, I appreciate you guys listening to us in the mentorship program. Um, it's all about becoming better people. That's what this program is for. Just for all of us to become all around. I love my elders, the things they have to say. And you're going to hear more from them. We have 8 subjects that we're going over, and we're going to be just opening our hearts and speaking truth of how we feel, and not so much how we feel, but what we researched, things we read, things we experienced ourselves, and mostly experience, because experience is the best teacher to me. As long as you learn from it, you know, you got to go through the thing and learn from it, and that's the best. Okay, until next time, you guys have a great week, and may the Creator bless you well. All right, bye.